Okay, so GoPro have released a brand new Hero 12 action cam, and this is not it. So what I actually have right here is the GoPro Hero 10, which I've had since its release a couple of years ago. So I want to go through a couple of things with you. First of all, we're going to talk about the brand new updates in the GoPro Hero 12. Then we're going to talk about if you actually need to invest in the newest, shiniest gadget, or whether you can save a bit of money and get something like this instead. So one of the new updates to the GoPro Hero 12 is it now has a new thread at the bottom of the GoPro. So if you look here at the 10, you can see that it's got the tripod mounts for the GoPro accessories here, but it has not got a thread at the bottom. It's just got the mounts which only go with GoPro accessories, and you can also get some third-party accessories to go with that as well, but it's just got that mount there. That's all it's got. So the new GoPro Hero 12 has that new thread at the bottom, which I think is a bit of an underrated upgrade, because if you've got a professional camera or you've got gimbals or a tripod, you can attach it to anything like that. Or if you've got anything like that in your car, you can just screw it in rather than having to use all the GoPro accessories. The next thing is that you can now record in vertical mode, because with the GoPro Hero 10 and 11, you could only record in the normal mode, which is 16:9, and then you had to edit it afterwards to make it vertical. Now you can choose whether you want to record 16:9 or 8.3 or 8.4, I believe it is, and you can also record in vertical mode as well if you want to record vertical content to bang straight out on social media. You can also now record in HDR mode and in log mode, which makes it easier for color grading. But when you look at this side by side, it is a big difference, but it's not that big a difference. So it's nice to have, but is it really going to make a game-changing difference to the world? Probably the biggest one is the run times, where this one, the GoPro Hero 10, I can normally get about 10-15 minutes out of it on an average day before it tells me it's overheating and it turns off. And I've seen some other people test it where they get the Hero 12 to last for about 25, sometimes even 30 minutes before it overheats. And another cool thing that the GoPro Hero 12 can do is that you can wirelessly connect your earbuds to your camera, which means that you can, if you've got something like the AirPods Pro or the Google Pixels or Samsung Buds or anything like that, you can connect your buds wirelessly to the GoPro, which means that you can now use your earbuds as a microphone. So if you're standing away, sitting back, or you're doing some sort of commentary to the camera, you can now wirelessly connect and talk to it like as if you was having a phone call, and it'll have the phone call level of quality. The bad thing, I think, is that there's so many wireless lavalier mics now. Why can't you just connect to them? I don't know why they haven't added that feature. To be honest, the audio out of this isn't too bad. It's not great for knocking out background noise if you're outside, so you'll be able to hear the wind, the cars, other people, all that kind of stuff. And that's the same with the 10, 11 and 12. But if you have wireless earbuds, it does knock out a little bit of background noise, but it will be better once they actually introduce the feature where you can actually have a wireless lavalier mic. So you can't connect a lavalier mic yet, but you can connect your earbuds. So it's better than nothing, I suppose, but I don't know why you'd only go half in to that. They should have just introduced the whole feature. Now this is the GoPro Hero 10, which is recording at 4K 60 frames per second in linear mode, which I think is around the 16:9 aspect ratio. Now 4K is really good, quality is really good, as you can see. The audio is not too bad considering this is a couple of years old and it's using the built-in mic, and the colors are pretty good. The stabilization is really good. As you can see from some footage of me running around with the dogs, the stabilization's pretty decent. My point is that this is a camera that's from two or 3 years ago that already come with a big upgrade, because when the Hero 9 was released, it had this front-facing camera at the front where you can see yourself recording yourself, but the issue with it was that it was quite slow. It had the touching the screen and playing around with the screen, all that kind of stuff, was a bit delayed and it was a bit slow. Whereas this, it's a lot faster. It's got a new processor inside. It's a lot faster. Now I know that this camera is a couple of years old and the Hero 12 is out, but the point is that do you need to get the biggest, shiniest new toy when this retails for around £100 less on Amazon currently? So you could get this Hero 10, you could save 100 quid, and it's still really, really good and does everything you want it to do. So why not consider it? Now this doesn't record in vertical format, and it doesn't have some of the same options that the new GoPro Hero 12 has, and also it doesn't have the thread at the bottom for you to plug it into pretty much any camera gimbal or tripod that you've currently got for your professional camera. But if you haven't got a professional camera, then this is actually all you really need. We all know that mobile phone footage is getting pretty good now, and you can shoot on an iPhone 15 with a gimbal and it will pretty much spit out professional footage. All you probably need to do if you wanted to do vlogging or anything like that is maybe spend a bit of money on a lav mic, which you can get for around $100 off Amazon, and then you've got a pretty good audio setup. But this is another option. So for around £300 you can get this GoPro Hero 10 or even the 11 off of Amazon, and you can save yourself a decent amount of money. Where the hell's that dog gone? Now don't get me wrong, there are some good upgrades to the Hero 12. You can record in log mode and HDR mode, for example. You can also record in vertical mode if you wanted to make vertical content, rather than having to record like this and then edit it into vertical content afterwards. It also has the thread at the bottom, like I mentioned, where you can screw it into any camera gimbal or tripod or car mount or anything like that, rather than having to use all of the GoPro accessories. But to be honest, unless you need those things, you can save yourself a decent amount of money by getting this. Now, just because a new toy is out doesn't mean you need to get the latest product. Now, I am a sucker for that, but usually only if it warrants it, and only if there's big enough upgrades to warrant it. Now, one other thing I want to talk about quickly is the runtime. The runtime on the Hero 10, I'm finding that I can usually record for around about 15 minutes straight before the camera gets overheated and said it's overheating. Sometimes I can get about 20 minutes out of it, but it depends on the environment you're in. If I'm outside in the middle of summer and it's really hot and I'm trying to record continuously, then I can sometimes get about 10 to 15 minutes out of it, and then it tells me that the camera's too hot and needs to cool down. But other times, if I'm indoors or it's in the middle of winter, for example, and you take this out with you, then sometimes you can get 20, maybe even 25 minutes out of it. But it's not very, I think my record is just over 20 minutes before the camera tells me that it's overheating and needs to cool down. So I think the runtime is improved on the Hero 12. But let's just look at something for a minute. You can get the Hero 10 on Amazon right now for £300, whereas you can't get that for the GoPro 12. The GoPro 12 currently retails at around £450. So you could save yourself £150 by getting the 10. And if you really, really want all those other upgrades, then yeah, go for it, get the 12. But if you're just going to use this for vlogging and recording your vacations, your holidays and some family stuff, then this is the one to go with. It's got a significant upgrade, whereas the Hero 9 had the front-facing camera, but it was very laggy, very slow. The processing wasn't that good. The Hero 10, I've been using this for about a year and a half now, and the Hero 10 processing is really good. It's really smooth. It's just really good. But let's face it, if you want to get a camera that's going to last you a few years, then yes, get the GoPro Hero 12. The sensor is good, and with that new Max Camera 2.0 edition, whatever the add-on's called, that gives you that nice wide field of view, and apparently it makes the camera quality better and reduces the flare and all that kind of stuff a lot better. So if you want to get something that you can screw onto any gimbal, it has HDR and log mode recording, and you can record in vertical content and gives you a few more options and has a better runtime, then get the Hero 12, because it will last you 2 or 3 years before you even need to think about upgrading it. But if you want to save a bit of money and you're just going to be recording this for holidays, vacations, family events, that sort of thing, then the Hero 10, you can save 100 quid, and it is a banging camera. It's really, really good. So which one are you getting? Hero 10? Hero 12? Or you've already got an older one, you don't need to upgrade? Let me know in the comments below.